माया का खेल भी देखते हो, लेकिन बेफिक्र बादशाहों का साखियों का खेल देखते हो। दुनिया वाले डरते हैं, पता नहीं क्या होगा। आपको डर है, डरते हो, निश्चय और निश्चित है, जो होगा वो अच्छे से अच्छा होगा। क्यों? त्रिकालदर्शी बन हर दृश्य को देखते हो। आज क्या है, कल क्या होने वाला है, इसको अच्छी तरह से जान के नॉलेजफुल होना। संगम के बाद क्या होना है, आप सबके आगे समझ लेना। नवयुग आना ही है। दुनिया वाले कहेंगे आएगा, क्वेश्चन आएगा, और आप क्या कहते हैं, आया ही पड़ा है। इसलिए क्या होगा क्वेश्चन नहीं है, पता है। स्वर्ण युग आना ही, रात के बाद अब संगम प्रभात है, अमृत वेला है। अमृत वेले के बाद दिन आना ही, निश्चय जिसको भी होगा वो निश्चित, कोई चिंता नहीं होगी, बेफिक्र। विश्व रचना द्वारा रचना की समझ नॉलेज मिल गई। बाप दादा देख रहे हैं, सभी बच्चे स्नेह और सहयोग के, संपर्क के, प्यार में बंधे हुए अपने घर में पहुंच गए। बाप दादा सभी स्नेही बच्चों को, सहयोगी बच्चों को, संपर्क वाले बच्चों को अपने अधिकार लेने के लिए अपने घर में पहुंचने की मुबारक दे रहे। मुबारक हो, मुबारक हो। बाप दादा का प्यार बच्चों से ज्यादा है, वह बच्चों का बाप दादा से ज्यादा है। किसका है? आपका कि बाप का? बाप कहते बच्चों का ज्यादा है। देखो बच्चों का प्यार है, तब तो कहाँ से पहुंच गई है ना। कितने देशों से आई है? 50 देशों से आई, लेकिन सबसे दूर से दूर कौन है? अमेरिका वाले दूर से आए हैं, आप भी दूर से आए हैं, लेकिन बाप दादा तो परम धाम से आए। उसके पेट में अमेरिका के, अमेरिका दूर है या परम धाम दूर है? सबसे दूर देश जाते और पापा असर हो जाते।
माता पिता सद्गुरु सखा तुम्हें तो एक हमारे हो, शिक्षक तुम्हें रक्षक तुम्हें दिल के तुम्हें सहारे हो, मिला सारे रिश्तों का प्यार तुमसे।
ओम शांति।
ओम शांति। अव्यक्ति परिवार में आपका स्वागत है। आज है दिन 6। रूहानी रॉयल्टी और प्योरिटी की पर्सनालिटी धारण करो। आज का विषय है ब्राह्मण जीवन का श्वास है पवित्रता। अव्यक्ति शारी जैसे स्थूल शरीर में विशेष श्वास चलना आवश्यक है, श्वास नहीं तो जीवन नहीं। ऐसे ब्राह्मण जीवन का श्वास है पवित्रता। 21 जन्मों की प्रारब्ध का आधार पवित्रता है। आत्मा और परमात्मा के मिलन का आधार पवित्र बुद्धि है। संगम युगी प्राप्तियों का आधार और भविष्य में पूज्य पद पाने का आधार पवित्रता है। इसलिए पवित्रता की पर्सनालिटी को वरदान रूप में धारण करो। अभी हम मोहिनी दीदी से सुनेंगे।
ओम शांति। सभी मौज में हैं। ये तो पूछने की बात ही नहीं, कैसे हो बाबा के बच्चे तो। बाबा ने हम बच्चों को कल नया श्रृंगार दिया है, नया सेट दिया है अपने को श्रृंगारने का। विष्णु के अलंकार हैं, देवियों के अपने हाथों में अस्त्र शस्त्र अलंकार हैं, परंतु बाबा ने हम बच्चों को संगम पर ब्राह्मण जीवन के कल 5 अलंकार दिए हैं। सभी को याद है वो 5? हाँ, मुझे मदद करो, यहाँ भी बैठे हैं। सबसे पहले क्या है? मस्तक पर चमकता हुआ सितारा। और दूसरा फिर है नेत्रों में स्नेह और शक्ति। मुख पर है नहीं, पर बोल के लिए। हाँ, तो इसलिए होंठों पर मुस्कान है और मुंह से मधुर वाणी, और हाथों में हाथों में सर्व खजाने हैं और हर कदम में पदम है। आज मैंने दिन में 1-2 बार सोचा चलो मैं लगा के देखूं ये सब कैसा लगता है ना, तो अच्छा लगा। अपना ये भी मैंने अभ्यास किया, मैं पवित्र आत्मा हूँ। फिर मेरे को 1-2 बार ऐसा लगा कि थोड़ा श्रृंगार को ट्राई तो करना चाहिए, नहीं? बुद्धि में तो आ गया। आप लोगों ने किया? किसी ने आज श्रृंगार नहीं किया? अच्छा, एक बहन ने किया। किस किस ने किया? हाथ खड़ा करो। बहुत थोड़ों ने। तो आप लोगों ने लेके रख दी अलमारी में क्या? बुद्धि रूपी अलमारी में बंद। और इतनी देर नहीं लगती है, आप ट्रैफिक कंट्रोल में भी कर सकते हो। किसी टाइम भी ना अच्छा लगेगा आपको, खुद अपना जो नया श्रृंगार की जो मधुरता कहो, उसका सौंदर्य कहो, उसकी अलौकिकता कहो, उससे अच्छा अनुभव होगा आपको। जैसे बाबा ने 5 स्वरूपों की ड्रिल बताई है, इसी तरह से आप हम सभी को अभी ये अलंकार, क्योंकि जो बाबा कहते हैं ना, आप इमीडिएटली कर लो। हाँ, क्योंकि रोज़ फिर कोई ना कोई तो ड्रिल मिल जाती है ना, तो इसलिए आज नहीं किया, रात को सोने से पहले कर लो, अमृत वेले के बाद कर लेना, पर सभी करना, ठीक है। तो अच्छा लगा। हम्म, बहुत ही जैसे अंदर में हर्षित मुक्ता आ गई। हम्म, ऐसे तो देखो लोग श्रृंगार करके शीशे में देखते हैं, हमारा दर्पण क्या है? अपना स्वच्छ मन है, उसमें अपनी झलक दिखाई देती है। बाबा को भी अच्छा लगेगा ना देख के कि मैंने बच्चों को कुछ दिया और बच्चों ने स्वीकार करके उसको ग्रहण कर लिया, धारण कर लिया। तो ये बहुत अच्छा है। आज के होमवर्क में बाबा कह रहे हैं कि ब्राह्मण जीवन का श्वास है पवित्रता। ब्रीदिंग होती है, श्वास होता है, उसके लिए क्या चाहिए? हम्म क्या चाहिए? ऑक्सीजन चाहिए होती है ना, पवित्र मतलब शुद्ध हवा चाहिए। जब हवा में कोई भी तरह का पोल्यूशन होता है तो सांस लेने में तकलीफ होती है ना। तो हमारे अपने वाइब्रेशंस का हो, हम्म, संग है हमारा, चाहे वो सुनना बोलना, तो उससे हम श्वास लेते हैं। यानी जो कहते हैं ना, संकल्प और श्वास का बहुत कनेक्शन है। तो दूसरा कुछ भी सोचे बोले, पर मेरे संकल्प मेरे लिए श्वास है, पवित्र संकल्प। ठीक है, बाहर कितना भी कई बार होता है वातावरण भारी हो, अशांति का हो, या कोई कुछ बोलता है, पर मुझे वो लेना नहीं है, वो श्वास मुझे लेना नहीं उन वाइब्रेशंस का। जितना ऑक्सीजन होती है उतना ब्रीदिंग अच्छी होती है, उतना हार्ट अच्छा होता है, लंग्स अच्छे होते हैं, राइट। सारा ब्रीदिंग पे डिपेंड करते हैं ना। तो इसलिए बाबा कह रहे हैं जैसे स्थूल शरीर में विशेष श्वास मिलना, श्वास चलना आवश्यक है। हम्म, पल्स को देखते हैं ना, क्या रेट है, ठीक चल रही है श्वास के नहीं चल रही है। जैसे ब्राह्मण जीवन का श्वास है पवित्रता, तो 21 जन्मों की प्रारब्ध का आधार भी है पवित्रता। 21 जन्मों के प्रारब्ध का आधार भी है पवित्रता। तो इसलिए बाबा कह रहे हैं कि आत्मा और परमात्मा के मिलन का आधार क्या है? पवित्र बुद्धि। संगम युगी प्राप्तियों का आधार और भविष्य में पूज्य पाने का आधार भी है पवित्रता। इसलिए पवित्रता की पर्सनालिटी को वरदान रूप में धारण कर लो। मतलब कि बाबा ने दिया है वरदान, अब हमें धारण करना है। और धारण करने का तरीका है स्मृति दिलाना खुद को कि मुझे ऑक्सीजन की ज़रूरत है। तो जहाँ भी, इसलिए देखो आजकल का, मैं पहले तो जब भी बैठते थे सिर्फ ज्ञान की रूढ़ियान करते थे। देखो संसार में तो बहुत हलचल है, जितना ज़रूरी है बहुत समाचार नहीं सुनने, क्योंकि फिर वो हलचल होती है अंदर में, डर आएगा, चिंता लगेगी। और चिंता तो ऐसे है जैसे तूफान की तरह आती है, राइट। सबको अनुभव होगा इस बात का कि कोई भी बात का डर है, फिक्र है, तो श्वास कैसे चलती है। तो कैसे पवित्रता जिसमें पांचों विकार, इसलिए देही अभिमानी है, तो फिर काम, क्रोध, लोभ, मोह, अहंकार, कोई के भी संकल्प नहीं आएंगे। तो सदा एक पवित्र शुद्ध हवा अर्थात शुद्ध वाइब्रेशंस, वो अपने संकल्प के, सबसे पहले तो अपने संकल्प के होते हैं, और अपने संकल्प के अगर पावरफुल हैं तो दूसरों के पहुंचते नहीं है, नहीं तो वो भी पहुंचते हैं। कोई हमारे लिए कुछ सोचता है, कहता है, वो भी पहुंचता है, हमको भी पहुंचता है, और हम जो करते हैं वो भी दूसरों को पहुंचता है। एक बार कोई बहन थी तो थोड़ा ज़्यादा पता कर रही थी दूसरी बहन के बारे में, तो दादी ने उसको कहा भी पूरा करो, ये भी हिसाब किताब बनता है। ये कैसे है, फिर इसने क्या किया, क्यों किया, ये वो नहीं। तो कर्मों का हिसाब किताब सोचने, बोलने, देखने सबसे बनता है, बड़ा सूक्ष्म है ना। तो अगर हम अटेंशन देंगे, हाँ, तो पवित्रता की जो श्वास है अच्छी होगी, तो ब्राह्मण जीवन हेल्दी होगी, मतलब सरल होगी, सहज होगी, नेचुरल होगी। ब्राह्मण जीवन भी तो नेचुरल होनी चाहिए ना। तो इसलिए जब हवा की कमी होती है, शुद्ध हवा कम होती है, तो बहुत उसके साइड इफ़ेक्ट्स होते हैं। इसलिए थोड़ा अटेंशन दे करके क्या करना है, पवित्रता को, हर प्रकार की पवित्रता को नेचुरल बनाएं, देही अभिमानी स्थितियों। तो कल के लिए हम लेंगे, मैं आत्मा शांत स्वरूप हूँ। पवित्रता है तो शांति भी है। मैं आत्मा शांत स्वरूप हूँ। ये मेरा, हाँ, हम लोग अपना दिन भर के लिए अभ्यास भी लेंगे, और सभी कोशिश करो कम से कम 1-2 बार अपना नया श्रृंगार धारण करो। आपको अंदर में बहुत बहुत अच्छा लगेगा, खुशी होगी। और ज़रूर है, मैं समझती हूँ कि अगर ये अभ्यास बढ़ा, तो साक्षात्कार मुहूर्त भी हो जाएंगे। दूसरों को भी दिखाई तो नहीं पड़ेगा श्रृंगार, पर श्रृंगारित होने की, उस स्वरूप में दिखाई तो जरूर पड़ेगा। स्थूल में नहीं दिखेगा, पर स्वरूप में दिखेगा। और बाबा तो कहते ही हैं आजकल बच्चे, स्वरूप बनो, हर चीज का स्वरूप बनो। ओम शांति।
अव्यक्त मुरली रिवीजन 1969 से। ज्ञान के रतन और स्नेह के मोती। अव्यक्त वाणी, तारीख है 12 अक्टूबर 1975। कंप्लेंट समाप्त कर कंप्लीट बनने की प्रेरणा। मास्टर सर्वशक्तिमान कहलाते हुए भी अपने ही स्वभाव संस्कार से मजबूर हो जाते हो, तो बाप दादा को भी ऐसी बातें सुनते हुए मीठी हंसी भी आती है। और रहम भी आता है जब अपने स्वभाव संस्कार को मिटा नहीं सकते, तो सारे विश्व से तमोप्रधान आसुरी संस्कार मिटाने वाले कैसे बनेंगे? जो अपने ही संस्कारों के वश हो जाएं, वह सर्ववशीभूत हुई आत्माओं को मुक्त कैसे कर सकेंगे? जो अपने ही संस्कारों जिससे स्वयं ही परेशान है, वह औरों की परेशानी कैसे मिटाएंगे? ऐसे संस्कारों से मुक्ति पाने की सरल युक्ति कौन सी है? कर्म में आने से पहले संस्कार संकल्प में आते हैं। यह कर दूंगा, ऐसा होना चाहिए। यह क्या समझते हैं, मैं भी सब करना जानता हूँ। इस रूप के संकल्पों में संस्कार उत्पन्न होते हैं। जब जानते हो कि इस समय संस्कार संकल्प रूप में अपना रूप दिखा रहे हैं, तो सदैव यह आदत डालो व अभ्यास करो कि हर संकल्प को पहले चेक करना है कि क्या यह संकल्प पाप समान है। जैसे कई बड़े आदमी होते हैं, वे जो कुछ भी स्वीकार करते हैं तो पहले उस चीज की चेकिंग होती है। जैसे प्रेसिडेंट है या कोई भी विशेष व्यक्ति या बड़े बड़े राजा होते हैं, तो उनका हर भोजन पहले चेक होता है, फिर वे स्वीकार करते हैं। उन्हें कोई भी वस्तु देंगे तो पहले उनकी चेकिंग होती है कि कहीं उसमें कुछ अशुद्धि या मिक्स तो नहीं है। वह बड़े आदमी आपके आगे क्या है? आपके राज्य में ये बड़े आदमी पांव भी नहीं रख सकते। अच्छा, आगे की मुरली कल सुनेंगे। ओम शांति।
बाबा ने मिसाल दी प्लेट की, स्लेट की, कागज की, कि उस पर कुछ लिखा हुआ हो, अगर उसको पूरा मिटाया ना जाए, फिर उस पर कोई अच्छी बात भी आप लिखना चाहें तो ठीक तरह से पढ़ने में नहीं आएगी, कंफ्यूजन होगा। तो परिवर्तन के लिए बाबा ने कहा कि परिवर्तन भी क्यों नहीं होता, जब तक कारण का निवारण नहीं करोगे तब तक ये स्वाभाविक बात है कि समस्या का समाधान नहीं होगा, हल नहीं होगा। तो प्रश्न ये उपस्थित हमारे सामने है कि परिवर्तन क्यों नहीं होता। परिवर्तन की प्रक्रिया जो है वो बहुत धीमी क्यों हो गई है, उसकी रफ्तार कम क्यों है। इतना पुरुषार्थ हम सब लोग करते हैं, फिर भी जैसा हमको बाबा बनाना चाहते हैं हम बन नहीं रहे। उसका मुख्य कारण क्या है, क्या करना चाहिए हमें। जरूर कोई कमी रही हुई है, कोई मार्जिन है जिसकी ओर हमने ध्यान नहीं दिया और उस कारण को निवारण नहीं किया। इसलिए जो हमें फरिश्ता बनना चाहिए, अव्यक्त स्थिति धारण करनी चाहिए या जीवन में पूर्ण परिवर्तन लाना चाहिए, वो नहीं ला पा रहे। तो बाबा ने एक बात पर अंगुली रखी, इशारा किया कि समाने की शक्ति कम है, समाने की और मिटाने की। इसको मिटाओ। जो ये स्लेट पर, प्लेट पर या कागज पर जो लिखा हुआ होता है, उसको पूरी तरह से रब ऑफ करो, मिटाओ। अब ये बहुत बड़ी बात है। कहने को एक आसान बात है, मिटा देना। संसार में तो कोई चीज कागज पर पेंसिल से लिखी हो तो हम रबड़ लेके मिटा देते हैं, और साधन होते हैं जिससे किसी चीज को मिटाया जा सकता है। लेकिन ये मन ऐसा है, ये प्लेट और स्लेट और कागज की तरह से तो है, बाबा ने कहा, लेकिन आश्चर्यवत है, क्योंकि इस पर कुछ लिखा जाता है तो इतना गहरा चला जाता है कि उसको फिर मिटाना आसान नहीं होता है, भुलाना इजी नहीं है। बहुत पुरानी पुरानी बचपन की बातें भी याद आ जाती हैं। जागृत अवस्था में याद नहीं आएगी तो स्वप्न अवस्था में याद आ जाती है। कई वर्ष से भूली हुई होंगी, बाबा ने भी कहा कि फिर अचानक से याद आ जाती है। तो क्या है इस मन का स्वरूप? चीज कहाँ होती है कि अचानक से निकल आती है? और देखने में तो मन अणु है, परमाणु के समान है, सूक्ष्माति सूक्ष्म है, क्योंकि आत्मा की ही ये एक विशेषता का नाम है। लेकिन गहराई कितनी है उसमें, विशालता कितनी है, वो महानता भी उसमें कितनी हो सकती है। लेकिन किसी चीज को जब वो धारण करता है, उसको लग जाती है, खुब जाती है, उसमें एकदम जाके सेट हो जाती है, बैठ जाती है, फिर आप बहुत कोशिश कर लीजिए, उसका निकालना बड़ा मुश्किल है।
Om Shanti. Adopt the personality of spiritual royalty and purity. Purity is the breath of Brahmin life. It is essential to breathe whilst in your body. For if you are unable to breathe, you are not alive. In the same way, purity is the breath of Brahmin life. Purity is the basis of your reward for 21 births. The basis of a soul meeting the Supreme Soul is a pure intellect. The basis of the confluence-aged attainments and a future worthy of worship status is purity. Therefore, adopt the personality of purity as a blessing. Om Shanti.
Om
Shanti, welcome to Avakti Parivar. Today's day 6. Adopt the personality of spiritual royalty and purity. Today's topic, purity, is the breath of Brahmin life. Now we will listen to Mohini Didi.
Om Shanti. Everyone, to keep well, to feel well, is only when there is proper breathing, right? So Baba is saying that oxygen is the breath of Brahmin life. Baba is saying purity. So I said purity is like oxygen, right? So many beautiful points come up in revision of Murli, that sanskar emerge in the form of thought. No, many say, how do I change sanskars? I say they will emerge in the thoughts and we have to change the thoughts. Am I thinking the way Baba is teaching us to? Based on Baba's teaching, am I thinking the way Baba is thinking? So transform, change the thoughts. Then the root of the cause of the sanskar is when we have the thought, then we speak, our attitude becomes like that, and then everything depends on the thought. And then sanskar becomes more firm because I allowed sanskar to be active again. So then it becomes more stronger. So it's very interesting to know what are your sanskar. Some people say, how do I know what are my sanskar? Look at the quality of your thoughts. What kind of thoughts suddenly emerge? No, as Brother Jagdish says, sometimes very old things happen in the childhood or something said suddenly it emerges and it creates different feelings. No, if it is good, then you feel good. If not, then many times some say, why suddenly sadness come? Is the feelings which are emerging from some of our sanskars. So look at your thoughts, and then, because as we are this month looking at the purity, so some ask purity begins from actions or thoughts. It could be both. Because why Baba has given us certain principles, certain disciplines, like wake up early morning. Amrit Vela is very important. Say good night to Baba or do traffic control. Now this is more in action, right? So when we adopt to some of these principles and then we look at the thoughts, right? It could be from the thoughts, the transformation, but it could also be from actions. We have to do both ways, right? I have to listen to Murli every morning properly. Not I sit anywhere, I'm drinking tea and still listening Murli. No. Even there are many these days are not able to reach in the morning for class. So you are on Zoom. And I heard some places they don't come on the Zoom, on video. But discipline says that if you should be in class, otherwise sit wherever you are, same time, exact time. Hmm. Oh, I might have to get ready. Of course you have to, right? You should be not only ready, but you should have your white clothes, you should have your badge and everything. Then you feel you are a student, right? Otherwise, it's like household, right? Mhm. So I know that some of you might feel it's too, but if you have to go for work, you will get ready anyway, no? Some say, no, I can't wear white. I say, okay, have white shawl, right? At least you feel that you are sitting in the classroom. You are sitting in front of Bab Dada. I know that, when I am in Madhuban, I see and I saw dadis in the morning when they wake up. They do everything, wash their face. And so one time I asked Dadi, why it is so important? Oh, I have appointment with Baba, right? 4 in the morning, I have to meet Baba. I mean, of course, these days people have different kinds of night clothes, but Dadis, they were always in proper clothes. They never wore even nighttime colored clothes, right? And these days I see some of them, and they sit in Amrit Vela with all that, right? So whether Amrit Vela or listening to Murli, if it is done with discipline, you will see the benefit. But it is, oh, I am listening to Murli. So it's little bit attention. Think about what I'm saying. May take little extra effort, but your study will be proper. Your attainments will be better. Your yoga will improve. And most important is you will feel very good as a student. Certain principles have to be adopted. In Lokik life also, when there is a student, actually there was a time they will send children to ashrams, right? So 25 years of life, they say it's the time to study, to have good intellect. They live celibate, pure. So purity, Baba says, is important. But I feel that as start from even external, and of course internal also, then in a subtle way there will be improvement. So Baba is saying purity is the breath of Brahmin life. And I am comparing purity to oxygen. Pure air, clean air, whether it is through my vibrations of my thoughts or atmosphere, company, what you're reading, what you're listening, everything has, it should be very pure, everything. Even like, whatever is happening in the world outside, a little bit information is important. But if you go in details, it will create little fear, disturbance, extra thoughts. And that will affect not only the breathing for the soul, but even for body. Your heartbeat, your palpitation, there is little bit effect on the heart, emotions, right? So Baba is saying it's essential to breathe whilst in your body. For if you are unable to breathe, you are not alive in the same way. So Baba says purity is the breath of Brahmin life. So if there are difficulties in Brahmin life of sanskars or relationship or anything, you have to check your purity. That is breath. So Baba says purity is the breath of Brahmin life. Purity is the basis of your reward for 21 births. The basis of a soul meeting the Supreme Soul, basis is pure intellect. The basis of the confluence aged attainments and future worthy of worship status is purity. Therefore, adopt the personality of purity as a blessing. I think nowhere uh, there is that much importance of purity as in our confluence aged Brahmin life. So we look at what I am inhaling, what kind of breathing, how to keep pure and clean air. I think somewhere something has to be done which could be keep us very secure. Otherwise, there is all the time some pollution or other. But we need to have a clean air, pure air. That is atmosphere vibrations, our own thoughts, right? All have to be pure. Om Shanti.
Good evening, Didi ji.
Good evening, good evening.
And the whole family. I don't know where to start here, but that connection between the breath and the thoughts, and of course, if I think of the vices, then whether it's lust or anger, whatever, then the breathing is very rapid, isn't it? Whereas if you're thinking in terms of peace, then the breathing is slower, is deeper. And so interesting connecting the two. I'd not really thought about it before. But first of all, just a little bit of a personal question. And there's always been deep appreciation for Brother Jagdish and his churning. Would he have been regarded as your senior? Was he senior to you, or you were the same generation?
Almost same, yeah.
Almost same. Did you ever have any interesting discussions with him? You know, because you have a similarity, I think, in the way that you look at things, the depth that you both go to.
Jagdish Pai was a professor of philosophy.
Mm-hmm.
So when he came, I still remember when he was taking course.
Wow.
He had so many questions, right? So one sister tried, other tried, but then there was one Kunj Dadi. He was Adi Prakashmani's sister, daughter.
Mm-hmm.
She was in Patna. She gave him course. Took long time. But then when he went to Baba, he was instantly like touched and kind of went in semi-trance, and then Baba just put him in his lap. And because we were together in service in Delhi, he believed in perfection, like in the sense of everything has to be perfect.
Yeah.
So, yeah, of course, one thing is I noticed that he had a lot of trust on me, in the sense whenever there is a problem or something with hall, government, he will always take me with him or ask me to do it or give contact. So I realized that he is appreciating, and so a lot of sharing, but also what he did with all of us. We were young in age to him, that like if you have to go and meet a VIP, right? And at that time, it's like you go as a delegation, 6 of us or 8 of us. So he will tell everyone what you have to do. Okay, this sister will give introduction. This sister will give the gift. This sister. So everyone will get up and do what they have to do. And in the end, Adi Gulzar will give blessing. Now it was so systematic. Otherwise, we go. Everyone wants to talk or don't talk. So not only that, but then I remember I was very good in lectures. No, because in college or schools we are taught to write an essay, right? So we know how to begin, what is middle part, how to conclude. So he used to say that in the end you should always give what is God's message and what is God's direction. So that the aim in the life is created through your talk. Like they know this, what I have to do. So many things we discussed together, and because we were about 22 Kanyas. Sudesh Didi was with at that time, and Chakradhari Didi, and many of us, we were 22. So whenever there was any kind of training, whether it is Didi Manmohini had to tell us or Jagdish Bhai has to talk about how do we do service, and so we always shared. So I think that even in Delhi where I lived, he was on other side of Delhi. Old Delhi, we were in New Delhi. It's a lot of distance, but because whenever there were programs, we will have meeting, and I still remember that first time when we had a media conference, press conference in Madhuban. There were a lot of, about 80 of them. So 2 of us were there to answer their questions, right? So when it comes to brothers, some or other, it become very argumentative, right? So then I will say, okay, let me answer. I will say what I have to say. So we shared platform, we shared stage, we shared a lot of things, right? And of course, we didn't sit and share, um, I don't remember points, but we shared a lot about the main topics like God's descent, and but he was very interested in trance. So one
Really?
day they arranged a program and they put Dadi Gulzar, myself, both on the stage in public, and both have to go to Baba and both have to bring message, because his curiosity was that why when you go to same place and same person like Baba, why message is not same? Why you all describe is not same? So we said, we don't know that, but even now, like some describe the scenic of, of the angelic world, subtle world. Some only describe message. Everyone is different. So anyway, he had a lot of interest in these things, and that kept us constantly in touch.
Yeah. And I'll get back to the point of purity in a minute. But just now, when I was watching him, I was thinking that this is probably not everybody. Theoretically, we're all world servers, but I really do think that that is one of the qualifications, a speciality, a condition that is absolutely necessary to be a ruler in the golden age. And yesterday it struck me, you maybe didn't hear it the same way as I did. Baba was speaking to the sisters from abroad, and I think that would have been the RCs, right? For the most part, right? And then he was saying about giving them the feeling of belonging, that as if you're from that same place and not just from one place. And then he categorically said, you are not just, even though all the RCs might have been there, you're not just from London or America. You are unlimited servers. You have the responsibility of the whole world. And I just thought that was very interesting when at the present time that you're seated in America, Sister Gentis, in London. And so that thing of being a world server, I really think that's a qualification.
No, we were asking them in India that where two of us are from outside, then Didi Sudesh now is the director of Gyan Sarovar.
Yeah.
I said three. Dr. Nirmala left, Chakradhari Didi and Vedanti. So when Vedanti, she felt why I am not there. So anyway, she is in India because she had accident
Right.
and she got surgery of the shoulder.
Yeah.
And it takes 6 months to heal completely. So she is in Ahmedabad because she really wanted to be in India. That why you all are in India and I am not there. So we were asking them that why not? There are so many zone in charge, so many. Why don't they come and say? They say each one of you left everything, even for a few months. But there they just go for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and then they feel that they are needed, they have to go back. Nobody really stays for a long time. So I think that maybe Dadi Janki or whatever, the way we are prepared and the way we assign everything around us, that we could live for a long time, right?
But there's also the thing, Didi, too, of would you acknowledge that by being in the West, even though it's such a long time now and you move so easily between India and America or Asia, anywhere in the world, that you have developed certain things in you because of the exposure to other cultures and other religions and so on and so forth, and not everybody does.
Yeah, that is there. Plus, of course, we have of India, no? We lived in India
And that of course being the
so
main thing.
It's like East and knowing like whole universe in a way.
Yeah.
So I remember that Nirvana Bhai said, one time I was giving talk, when you all talk, it feels so universal. It doesn't look like for one religion or one, because naturally, because we have so many countries, so many cultures, exposed to everything. No?
Right. But the feeling is, and for Baba, he never left India, it would seem, in any birth, but yet he had that world view, that was exceptional. And that's it for a handful of you. That same thing, like with Daddy Janki too, we felt that even though, she wasn't that educated and she had only been exposed, and in fact, all the first students in England were not Indians. It was Westerners, and they all felt from her that she understood them. That was the thing, that there was no gap or there was no limitation of culture or religion or anything else.
Yeah, you have a lot of experience with Adi Janki, right?
Yeah. So that was the beginning. So it's the same for you. I really do feel that that there's only a handful of souls that become the emperors, and that world service is very much a part of it.
I mean, we are part of that, but there are many others too.
Okay. Everybody thinks differently. I have my own thoughts about it. But back to this thing of purity. And, it's very easy to say, there was something I disagreed a little with in that thing where it said it needed a pure intellect to connect with God. My intellect definitely was not pure when Baba gave me that first experience. My intellect wasn't pure. And so if you have to have a pure intellect what does that mean? None of us
No.
come with a pure intellect.
Baba gave you experience, and other is you are celebrating meeting with Baba. It's two things, no?
Okay.
So Baba gave you experience and also gave you the gifts then of
Yes.
pure intellect, right? But when you have to meet Baba, you need pure intellect. No, he said celebrating the meeting needs pure intellect.
Okay.
It's a different thing, right?
Okay, good. I always like you make the distinction very quickly.
Mm.
One question, then I'll also touch on this thing of which came up last night about sorrow, and then you mentioned today sadness. They're two different things. But what is the experience of I know what it is to be peaceful. I know what it is to be the embodiment of love. I know what it is, not just in theory, but in practice, to be the embodiment of happiness or knowledge. But what is the experience of being a pure soul?
Pure soul is it's like soul consciousness, too, like yesterday Baba said. So when there is soul consciousness, that's the purity. I think you were sharing one time, one student who just came, and after 2-3 days, she shared something about difference in her life was soul consciousness.
Mm-hmm.
So, but when there is purity, your intellect doesn't go into anyone's, like nature and body consciousness, their sanskars, and it's like you are kind of not touched by
Okay.
whatever.
First, that you're not touched by that. Oh, that's nice.
Mm.
That you're not touched by, you're not influenced, affected. And so, in terms of, because ultimately, yeah, someone once said, and I liked it, that love is purity in action. You don't think of purity as an action. Happiness, yes, you can be like this, or love, or whatever, but that it's really love is purity in action. So, should I work more on love or on purity?
When there is purity, there will be love.
I know,
You
but
know.
how do I work on purity? Is it really that thing again? And I'm making this connection
No, see,
about the
sometimes
breathing and the thoughts and the touching the sanskars.
it's go into depth. If I have in me impression about someone, right? Someone told me so and so is like that. So when I meet that person, then I have that attitude and drishti,
Yes, yeah,
not purity, right?
yeah, yeah.
So then there will be less love because
Okay,
of that impression from the past.
okay.
So if we are, sometimes it does happen, someone says something and you are holding it. And even if you don't say anything, but because it is in you, so that's kind of impurity, I call it.
Right,
And when there is that kind of impurity, then you cannot have same love.
right. Okay.
And if we want that our love should emerge same for everyone, there has to be total clean slate,
Mm,
nothing written on that, as
yeah,
Jagdish
like
Bhai
they
was
said,
saying.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So
That's
I think that's why I have to look in that what not making me lovable to that person, or I'm not able to even have that much closeness or smile.
okay.
So that is because I'm
Mm-hmm.
holding somewhere.
Nice, nice. And so, just to finish with this thing, and then you touched on sadness, and I don't know if the two words are different in Hindi, but having a sweet conversation with someone about the difference between sadness and sorrow, and it was almost like we came at it from the opposite sides. And so, this thing of where this what for you is the distinction between sadness and sorrow? And are there two different words in Hindi for it?
You feel sorrow and then you become sad.
Oh, okay. But
It's
this
like
sadness that comes from, and I don't know if people get sorrow from the past. I always think sorrow is to do with in the present. In other words, my attachment and somebody has died that I loved very much, then I can feel sorrow. But sadness is something that seems to come without any reason. It just
yeah, because that is why Baba said don't cause sorrow to anyone, because that person, when thinks about that sorrow, you will feel sad.
Oh, interesting.
It is always when someone is talking about you, but also it emerges from the sanskar, that sadness comes from inside.
Yes.
So it could be, you sad and bad, like feeling bad, feeling sad.
Yes.
Both are kind of emerging from our sanskars. But that is why Baba says always have good wishes for everyone.
Mm-hmm.
So that in your mind there is nothing which could cause sorrow to someone.
Right.
Or so when there is sorrow, then after some time, how long you can be emotionally into sorrow?
Mm-hmm.
It goes deeper and you are sad then.
Okay.
So
All
I
right.
think we are playing with two words, but
Yes, but no, what you're saying makes sense.
no, I
But they
don't know.
are two.
I
Yeah.
see one person, and she is kind of always, she never has smile, right?
Mm.
I get little concerned, and every time I want to talk to her, so for a while she starts smiling and all that. This time again saw her, and she had long face, and are you okay? I said, are you? Ah, yes. But there is no smile. What happened? So I think that some people, somewhere they go back into their past or somewhere deeper, and then their faces doesn't have that lightness or expression or smile, which is very important, right?
The
To come on.
decoration you were talking about, yeah.
Mm. Because that is the life, no? Because if you are cheerful, then others also are happy. If you are not, they get concerned. What's happening? What's going on? And all.
Yeah.
Mm.
All right, DDG. Thanks a
Then
million. That was great.
that,
Thank you
that's
so
what
much.
I tried twice a day to put new decoration with Baba gave.
You
It
didn't
feels,
mention the feet. You didn't mention the feet that he mentioned yesterday too. That he decorates the feet. That there's like multi-millions at every step, right?
yeah, I did say.
Yeah.
In
Oh,
Hindi,
it didn't get translated then, maybe. Yeah.
okay,
Thank
nice,
you so much.
nice to talk to you
And
all.
you too, Didi. Thank you so
Yeah,
much. Om
thank you.
Shanti.
Om Shanti.
Om Shanti. Thank you very much. And so tomorrow is Tuesday, and our schedule from Amritvela 3:30 a.m. to 4:45 a.m. In the evening, 5 to 6 p.m. English Awake Muli revision, Gayatri Pen will do. And together with that, breakout room Awake the Children Muli class, 5 to 5:15 p.m. 6 o'clock, but we will start, followed by Hindi series, English series, and chat chat. Now let's remember Baba and take Drishti from Didi.
सफल कर लो सांसें अपनी सफल कर लो सांसें अपनी, परम पिता को याद कर। सफल कर लो सांसें अपनी, परम पिता को याद कर। व्यर्थ न जाए जीवन अपना, व्यर्थ न जाए जीवन अपना, पल पल को आबाद कर। सफल कर लो सांसें अपनी, परम पिता को याद कर। आए कहाँ से क्यों है आए, सोचो क्या ले जाना है। आए कहाँ से क्यों है आए, सोचो क्या ले जाना है। जैसी करनी वैसी भरनी, कभी नहीं भुलाना है। शुभ संकल्पों की, शुभ संकल्पों की करो रचना, विश्व का कल्याण कर। व्यर्थ न जाए जीवन अपना, पल पल को आबाद कर। सफल कर लो सांसें अपनी, परम पिता को याद कर। मिट्टी का तन मिट जाएगा, भूल से धोखे में मत आना। मिट्टी का तन मिट जाएगा, भूल से धोखे में मत आना। वस्तु वैभव धन संपदा, साथ कभी ना है जाना। मैं हूँ आत्मा, मैं हूँ आत्मा अजर अमर, बस यही एहसास कर। व्यर्थ न जाए जीवन अपना, पल पल को आबाद कर। सफल कर लो सांसें अपनी, परम पिता को याद कर। की पूंजी भर ले मन में, कुछ ही पल है पास तेरे। पुण्य की पूंजी भर ले मन में, कुछ ही पल है पास तेरे। जोड़ के रिश्ता प्रभु प्रीतम से पाले उनसे सुख सारे। क्या होगा, क्या होगा, कैसे होगा, अब न कोई फरियाद कर। व्यर्थ न जाए जीवन अपना, पल पल को आबाद कर। सफल कर लो सांसें अपनी, परम पिता को याद कर। सफल कर लो सांसें अपनी, परम पिता को याद कर। परम पिता को याद कर।
ओम शांति, ओम शांति।